Welcome back, guys, to the Neighbor Starleague down live at the Nexon Arena. My name is Valdez. Joined with me today is Moonglade, as always. And we just had a bit of a surprising result. Dream gets ahead of Maru 2-1 into the winners match.
It really cooks my noodle, Valdez. It's crazy, man.
It?
It does, man. I could not believe it. I was really counting out Dream during that.
Yeah, man, me too. I was not expecting this at all, in fact.
Keep getting distracted by these guys in chat, man. I actually did that GG face, and they copied what I said and they spammed it.
They're just spamming at both of them.
Oh,
or at least they were. They've stopped now. Both of them deep in thought here, actually. Like we were saying before, you made a really good point. Both of these guys are on the same team, and they have a lot of practice with each other. They know each other's builds inside and out. They know each other's personalities in the house, even. They know everything about each other, so this is going to make things even that more complicated.
They know their diets, their sleeping patterns. They know everything about it. They live side by side. I would not be surprised if they actually are the two that practice the most with each other because of how their matchup has developed so well.
Makes sense, man. Well, going into the bans on the maps, we do have Deadwing and King Sejong Station banned out by Dream, and Catalina and Nimbus banned out there by Dark against Terran. Same bans there by Dark. And Deadwing here banned by Dream against Dark. So he doesn't want to play that gigantic map, kind of like TY did.
I guess he
keeps
does
overgrowth in the pool.
I think he wants to kind of try and avoid going super late game against Dark because Dark just seems so robust when it gets to that stage in the game. Starting things off with merry-go-round can be very aggressive. We might see something a little tricky from Dark. I wouldn't be surprised if he tried to throw in maybe a proxy Rax. Not a bad idea against someone like Dark who's just ridiculous in the mid to late game.
This is going to be an exciting one, man. Dream's TVZ is so good. Dark's ZVT is so good. We're going to jump into the winners match here, guys. Set number 1. It's going to be on merry-go-round. Let's jump into the game. Up here on the top, right, in the red, the Terran player defeating Maru in that last match to get to the winner's match. It is Dream.
And here in the top left is the SKT T1 player Dark in the blue. One of the sickest Zergs around, one of the best in the world. Playing against his teammate here. Makes you wonder exactly what the mind games are behind this. Try and discover them. It's one of the biggest things of all, Valdez, is trying to understand what these players are thinking when they do what they do, because sometimes it can just be so uncharacteristic, so weird, especially if it's teammates, because they play against each other every day.
Yeah, will they play straight up the styles that their opponents already know because they're teammates, or will they try to mix things up to try to throw their teammates off? It throws a lot, like a gigantic wrench into both of these players' minds.
It's essentially
play styles.
Giving us a whole new puzzle to work with when it comes to figuring out what's happening in this game.
Yeah, and Dream versus Dark is already such a crazy matchup, so stay tuned, guys. Tell your friends that this is happening, especially because Starleague doesn't get the attention that it should. In fact, these matchups are insane. They deserve more viewers.
They do. It really is the best matchups in the world when you have someone like Dark versus Dream. It really is unrivaled.
Yeah,
anyone that loves StarCraft should be watching this.
The other two players in the pool as well, TY and Maru, quite strong as well. We do have the pool and gas drop down here at the same time for Dark after that hatchery.
Yeah, so kind of a 15 pool, I guess 14 gas. Gonna get that Zergling speed a little bit quicker, but obviously wants to get out that pool as quick as possible. Might have been a 16 pool, actually. But either way, standard sort of timings for the Zerg. And for the Terran, we are just seeing that Reaper expand opening. Safe, clean build for Dream. Going to take map control. Going to see exactly what's going on. See the Zergling speed timing from Dark, which is pretty important.
And looking at, once again, I guess because this is merry-go-round, we should mention the spawning locations in that third base. It's going to be a bit easier for Dark to take that third base down there towards the bottom side of his natural. But that fourth base, once again, it's going to be up on that hill, going to be able to be dropped quite easily.
Yeah,
it's going to be annoying there for Dark.
He's definitely been getting the good spawns when it comes to this map. He's not getting that sort of awkward middle base as a third base in his last game, and now this game as well. Being able to take that third base away from his opponent.
We do have a follow-up of a second Reaper here, so Dream looking to go heavy on the harass. Actually, a third one. There's already 2 out. Third one on the production tab right now.
Yeah, and we see 6 Zerglings have already been made. So I kind of get the impression that Dark knows exactly what he's up against when it comes to this map. And he knows how many Reapers he'll be facing. And nice defense from Dark. Fending off everything. Making 1 extra queen in the main base. So he's going to be able to keep those 2 down in the natural without losing really any sort of production.
And Dream does not care at all. He just throws down a third CC in the main base right underneath that Overlord. So he's basically saying to Dark, hey, I'm taking a third base, by the way, in case you wanted to know.
Oh, picks off a Reaper. Little bit of a mistake there from Dream. And yeah, I mean, I guess, well, really, it's kind of unavoidable when you go for multiple Reapers, because once you have 2 out, your opponent knows that you will not have any Marines for quite a long time, because that barracks will be busy making a reactor while the factory, a late factory, is building. So you can just park your Overlord inside the main base for quite some time. So yeah, not much of a surprise that Dream will just throw it down any old place.
Uh-oh, speed is done here for the Lings, and that Reaper going to try to jump up onto the high ground. But Dark, really nice micro, going to take it down. And he starts that third base.
Yeah, and 1 Reaper remains. So Dark in a pretty comfortable position, getting rid of 2 Reapers. That actually takes a load off your mind, because if there's still like 2 or 3 Reapers with about 4 to 6 Hellions, you can poke on the creep a lot. You can trade with Queens pretty efficiently. Reapers do pretty well against Queens over time, so especially if there's not much else there to defend with them.
We are seeing a bit more pressure coming out onto the map, at least for now. From Dream, he just have 2 Hellions and a Reaper here. Maybe looking to deny that creep from spreading. Yep.
Pretty easy map to deny creep spread on. It is, I mean, so hard to expect creep down this ramp. It is such an open sort of area. Obviously, Hellions are going to have a pretty comfortable time. Bit of a run by, not going to do much at all. And Dark, once again, going for 3 gases, not 4. Deciding to get that 4th one just a little bit later. He's also got 5 drones on his main gas. A little bit of a mistake there.
Yeah, quite a decent mistake, in fact. And now Dream out on the map with a 7 Hellion, 1 Reaper harassment force with 1 Banshee looking to go into the main. But he actually just pulls back, kind of scared about Dark's counterattacks here, even though he's got a wall. There's only 4 Lings.
Yeah, it's just, I guess, an easy cleanup. It wants to try and stop any sort of Zerglings on the map whatsoever, any sort of scouting capability that he can avoid. And we are seeing Cloak Banshees. Cloak just about to finish. And
ooh.
No Banshees out just yet.
2 more factories on the production tab here. May see a bit of mech coming out of Dream here against Dark.
There's the first Banshee, and this could actually do a lot of damage. 3 Queens. Gonna have a hard time against this. All transfuses have been used. The Hellions poke just a few more times. Maybe you can get a Queen or 2. It's going to be hard with the Zerglings there, but the creep spread has been stifled once again towards the middle of the map.
Third base now being floated down here by Dream. May see Dark's bit of his patented kind of Baneling run-bys. He tried to do that against TY, but TY knew about it.
Well, I
had
think
2 tanks in position.
I think we might actually see Banelings be avoided after this kind of engagement, Valdez, because it is going to be mech. So Dream is actually throwing a bit of a spanner in the works. Something we haven't seen from Dream in his TVZ is mech, that's for sure. So maybe he cooked up something a little something interesting for Dark if he had to face him.
Yeah, indeed. We do see 2 Cloak Banshees now in the main, but that's a lot of Queens. I think it should be just fine for now. Maybe you want to go towards that third base with those Banshees.
That is a surprising amount of Queens. And yeah, Baneling speed is finished.
This gas is still not taken.
And I don't think Dark has actually realized that it is going to be mech. We finally see a Roach.
Now.
Yeah, we finally see a Roach Warren go down as well as the Spire. Still, the main gas has not been taken for Dark either, which I find to be fascinatingly irritating. I'm like, why? Why is this gas not taken? Finally, it has been taken. Still, I think I kind of get the feeling that Dark realized it was mech just a little too late. It's kind of awkward now. He's going into the tech so late, and it's just giving Dream so much time to go into sufficient anti-air for Mutas to ever really do damage. Already, how many Thors are we going to have out in a second? I think we have 3 Thors out in the moment. We've got 2 on the map so far, and I think 2 more are on the way. So he's going to have 4 Thors out before Mutas are even close to being out. Then he can go back into tanks, so Roaches will not do anything. And we're going to see Dream comfortably go into this powerful mech composition that's going to be so hard to deal with in the mid to late game.
I'm glad you mentioned that Dark kind of had no idea for a long time, because this definitely seems like something that Dream is kind of throwing in now, something prepared specifically for this matchup, not something that Dark is used to. Maybe when they play against each other, Dream likes to play a lot of bio, likes to be annoying with his drops. I mean, he did a lot in the TVT as well as in other games. You know, against Solar, I think he played pretty much specifically only bio with some Thors mixed in as well for the dropping and the micro that he likes to do. But yeah, I'm really excited to see this one get started here. We do have 6 Corruptors on the production tab already, as well as a lot of Roaches out here for Dark.
Yeah, Corrupt is not a bad choice because he is fighting against Banshees. There's currently 4 Banshees on the map, so obviously cannot really go Mutas against it because there's too many Thors out. So you really have no other choice but to go, I guess, either a Hydra, which is still kind of very iffy against mech, especially in certain situations. And then you got Corruptors, which are going to absorb a lot of Thor hits, as well as be able to pretty much focus fire down the Banshees more than anything else.
That's a lot of Hellions. They're able to take out 2 Queens here. Those Banelings just barely not getting the connections, just walking by. Gonna get a Widowmine though. Not bad. A lot of Banelings still being morphed here. It looks like for now he's just making a huge force of Ling Bane Roach with some Corruptors. He may be trying to end this before the mech player is actually able to get up a big army here.
I mean, the mech player is now maxed out, so he might have missed his timing at this point. I don't know, Valdez. We are going to see a huge engagement. There's nothing but Thors for the Banelings to hit. Not the best engagements whatsoever.
Yeah, I don't know about this so much. There's no tanks in the mix, which is maybe why he was going for this, but, I mean, this got totally cleaned up.
Insanely deflected. Ridiculously deflected.
And only now is Dream making some tanks in the mix, so it's going to be good against these Banelings. I think he's going to have to stop making those.
3 tanks at a time. So he's going to have more than enough before anything else comes his way. Once he's got 2 or 3 sieged up, there's nothing that Dark is going to do with this composition. We do see that infestation go down, finally, but it is pretty late at this point. And the 5th base, or sorry, the 4th base is only just getting droned up as well. Awkward position for the Zerg. Very unfavorable that he will have a chance in the late game, coming from this economy. Generally, if you do see a mech player this earlier on, you will go for your extra 4th and maybe even a 5th base, get extra gas, build a bank before the Terran can move out in the map with that maxed out mech force. From here, though, a completely failed Baneling Roach attack. And where do you go from here? Swarm hosts? He's already making tanks 3 at a time. He's already got a ton of Banshees on the map as well. This is a horrible situation, Valdez.
It's definitely looking like it so far. Here's some of those patented Baneling run-bys towards that 3rd base. Only about 4 Banelings here. Let's see what kind of connections they can get. And if Dream realizes, here we go. Not the best. He gets 1 Mule and 4 SCVs, but this tank, this giant army of the mech player right now is on the creep, clearing it up. And we've got about 3 Swarm hosts.
Well, then. I don't know what 3 Swarm hosts are going to do. These Banelings are going to help out kind of getting rid of the buffer for the mech army, which is the Hellbat. Sure, that's great, but what else? Once these tanks are sieged up in a decent position, doesn't matter how many locusts you're going to throw their way, because that is a lot of tanks. And they are +2 currently.
Coming from behind with some Roaches as well as fighting with the locusts is what he's trying to do for now, but he's right in the middle here. The Zerg is not really able to sum up a big enough army to deal with this entire thing. We do see a bunch of Roaches back here denying mining, but that's not going to stop this push.
No, and that is 7 tanks sieged up with +2. You're going to see Lucas evaporate without Blinding Cloud to help out. GG.
GG.
Checkmate.
Wow. So really nice mech play out of Dream, but also at the same time kind of weird play out of Dark. I mean, understandably, he got the scout very late on the mech, but went for a very kind of, I would almost call it desperate kind of push there against what Dream had already. Like you said, he was maxed at the time. And even though he didn't have that many tanks, that's a lot of Thors, and no matter how many Banelings you have, it's not really going to trade efficiently against that kind of army.
No way, no how. Not with that many Thors and Banshees. Like, what is Roach Bane going to do exactly? Like, it was like water on rocks. It just didn't do anything. I think it really just came down to scouting too late. That was pretty much a massive surprise for Dark. He had no idea that Dream was capable of that kind of mech.
Well, there you have it, guys. Dream, we were kind of counting him out before this even started today, but now he's 1-up. 1-0 here against Dark in the winner's match. Looking primed to take it. Like we said before, a lot of psychology does go into playing your opponent, or rather your teammate as an opponent. And already getting into the mind of Dark here. Let's see if Dark can kind of hold it together as we go into game number 2.